Okay, so we are going to get going. And today is about mobility in very practical terms. Can you actually, if you fell or if you just needed to get down and get something in the floor and get back up, you tripped, whatever, could you do it without too much trouble? Yes, you might go through a time in your life where that's not possible because maybe you're post-op with a knee or a hip. However, if your goal is to be able to get yourself up off the floor, to travel around, to not have to do things of daily living, then you gotta work with mobility and you gotta get stronger. So that's the focus of today. So here I am in my little studio here. Again, I have different heights of stools, etc. Okay. And so, you know what I'm going to do? The very first thing, when you get up in the morning, one of the best things you can do is go up and down your stairs. Now, many of you, I understand you're not where your stairs are. That's why I'm going to put this right here. And I'm going to act like it's my stairs. So I'm going to come up and then I'm going to bring that knee up. And you see what I'm doing? So instead of just walking, which is a good thing, I'm going to step on a very smushy surface. I am barefooted. I'm going to continue to say all the things of lining myself up. Do you see what I just did? Pulled that knee up. And I didn't do it super fast. Now we're going to do some fast work today, believe it or not. However, you got to see where your back is. Okay? You see here I'm holding onto the counter. If I don't have a counter, I would have a pole. I would have a chair. I want to bring that knee up, full range. I'm going to step down, step back, step back, step back. There's my target. I'm going to step up, bring the knee up, bring it down. Now I'm going to go to the other side. Step up, bring the knee up, check and see how my back is doing. Step down and step down. I'm going to step in and step in. So across and across, I should say across and across. So what am I doing? I'm working my hip in all directions. So now, as I bring my knee up, I'm going to take it back. See, it's a free swing up. And then I'm going to come all the way down and then curl back here. But here's what you got to know. When you do that little move that I just did, okay, I'll do it on this side so you'll see. So first of all, stabilize. Drop your shoulders. Bring the knee up. Now I'm going to come down and look at my foot. It's in dorsiflexion. I'm going to swing here and pull it up. Not hard, not fast, just the move. Then I'm going to step off. Then I'm going to go to the side and to the side. And I may go to the side several times, okay? Here's the thing. I could do every bit of what I'm doing with you right now at the bottom of your stairwell, wherever that stairwell might be. This would be tantamount to a step on a stairwell, okay? And I'm stepping on this for the reason that I know that most of you have this tool, which is a stepping pad. Bring that leg down, swing it back, pull the heel into your hip, then step back, okay? Take a breath. So every step right now, you got to say rib cage up. That's number one. Drop your shoulders. Take a big breath. Look at this leg. Here I go. Swing. See that? It's a free swing. Then I'm going to come down. See, it's all the way down. Now when I pull the heel to the hip, I don't take the knee out to the side. That's what so many people do. I can't even tell. It's probably the first thing that they want to do when I say, okay, swing your leg down and back to your hip. They go like this, pretty good, and then they go like this. Okay, so we're going to do that move, but not right now. Okay, step off, big breath, step to the side, step to the side. Let it swing, 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 swing. Now back in, so I went through a whole hip mobility. So I'm going to go turn in, and I like to do this barefooted because look what I'm doing to my toes and my ankle and my foot. Look at that. See that? I'm not putting pressure on it. Number one, when I rotate and turn or pivot, which is what I'm doing, this is a pivot. I say rib cage up, drop my shoulders. Yeah, I want to really pull this around. I'm gently pressing on my flexed toes. See that? That is so important. If you get up and you have a stiff hip, a stiff foot, a stiff knee, generally it starts at your feet, okay? Yeah, I know. Take a breath. Whew. Okay, ready? I'm going to do a pivot. See that pivot? This leg stays put. This leg stays put. This turns, okay? Now, once you've turned, really and truly get those fingertips under your rib cage. Really pull that rib cage up. Drop your shoulder. I'm putting gentle pressure on a very flexed foot. My heel is up. My knee is heading this way. I'm putting gentle pressure. And then I come back. Big breath. Okay, one more turn. Here I go. Turn. See that? Now say rib cage up. And gentle pressure on those flexed feet. What a simple move. Okay, I'm going to backtrack now. Okay, you know those 1 to 2 minutes little breaks through the day? Well, if you have a tight back, or if you have whatever going on, you have hip joints that you're like, I'm not sure if I can do this or that. Look, go to your stair. Go to your stairwell. Hang on to both sides, okay? Bring it up, bring it back down. Switch, bring it up, bring it back down. Okay, now I'm doing up here. I understand you might not have that. So just come here and go up and come back down. And go up, bring your leg back a couple of times, bring your knee up a couple of times. See? Step off, hinge, 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 then pivot, pivot. See that? So I'm going to try to pair moves today. All right? I'm pivoting. See that? See that? I'm putting gentle pressure on those flexed toes, re-stretching under your feet all the way into the heel. Tight tummy, drop your shoulders, pivot, and stay upright. Don't be leaning over, okay? Right up here. See the toes? Yeah, gentle pressure on very flexed feet, right there. Big breath through the nose. Yeah. So you do that a couple of times. That's 1 or 2 minutes. Do you know what you've done for your hips and your back by just doing that? Oh my goodness. Now, either to your chair or to a wall or to a counter. Okay. So this is a high counter. You may want to do the back of your chair. That's okay. Do the back of the chair. That's fine. Put your hands on the back of the chair. That's good. Now, here's your task. You're going to walk away. You're going to walk away from the chair while you push down and a tiny, just down mostly. Everything else will take care of itself. If you go too far forward pushing or pull back too far, you're going to get a rocking and rolling with your chair. I don't want either. I want you to be pushing down. So that means you got to drop your shoulders, push down on the chair. Now walk yourself back while you maintain that down shoulder. Shoulders are rolled in, okay? So as I walk out, my shoulders don't, what I call displace. They're anchored in with my shoulder blades. See that? Now I'm going to keep my chin tucked. Now I'm going to push my butt back. I'm going to keep my shoulders down as I drop, 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 drop. Okay? So those of you with sore shoulders, do not go anywhere past pain. I want you to do a range. That's all I'm trying to get you to do. Now bring your hands in, bring your elbows in, bring your thumbs up over your head, and point up with your elbows, okay? My knees are soft, my shoulders are down. Big breath. Then I open those arms, and then I bring them down. I bring them all the way back here, okay? Drop my shoulders, drop my chin. Woo, right up, elbows together. Elbows are going to point up as the thumbs go down over the head. Soft knees, drop your shoulders. Now bring those arms up, way up there. Bring them back down and back down and back down. Now I want you to just cross your arms like this. See this? Why am I having you do that? Okay, if you have shoulder issues, you have trouble getting your shirts, your t-shirts, your clothes up over your head. This move that I just took you through is going to help open up your shoulders in a good way. So let's do that one more time. So I'm going to press down on the back of the chair. It could be a wall right here, see? And I'm going to start walking back. However, I'm going to keep my shoulders down as I walk back. My chin is tucked. And I'm going to go to a certain level because, see, if I'm keeping my shoulders down and my shoulder blades in, see, that's about it. Yeah, I can make them go way up. See, I can go way back here, but that's not what I want you to do. I want you to drop your shoulders. Pull your shoulder blades together as you push down, step back. Now, push your butt back, keep your chin tucked. Keep your shoulder blades in, and you go as far as you can. And you hang out here for just a few seconds. Take about 3 deep breaths through your nose. Another one. Push back with your butt. Keep your shoulder blades in. One more breath. Now come up. Step forward, keep your knees soft. Bring your hands together. Bring your elbows together. Help. One hand is helping the other. I'm going to bring my elbows up over the head, right there. Okay, my thumb is down behind my head. Big breath through the nose. Now I'm going to straighten those arms. Yes. Okay, now go way up and come back down. Okay. That little move down that way is going to help get everything on board with your shoulders. Put the hands out. Okay. We're going to go up. We're going to go up. We're going to go up. I got to watch. I got a fan above me. Let me come in here. I'm going to go here. I'll go back so you can see what my hands are doing. I'll go back here so I don't hit my hands. I have very long arms. Drop your knees just a little bit. Drop your shoulders, rib cage up. See how I'm bringing that hand up? So if you have a tricky shoulder, you have mobility problems. And what is this whole class about? Being able to do functional daily moves. Yes, we need to be strong enough to be able to maintain that and do it easily so that you have independent living. If you cannot dress yourself, if you cannot comb the back of your head, fix your bra, fix your t-shirt, whatever it is, you got a mobility problem. So take your shoulders through a full range. And we're going to do it again on the floor in just a minute. Because in fact, we're going to get on the floor. Now I'm going to turn one foot one way. See that? I'm going to step out a little more. I'm going to bring those shoulders back. Shoulders back. Yeah, they're down and back. Yeah, don't poke your chin out. Your chin is tucked. Now I'm going to put pressure right here. So this is I'm adapting some of these moves from the Walker's Daily Dozen that I got from a really good physical therapist. She had them all on a chart. I'd been doing them already for many years in classes. And then I looked at her chart and I said, oh, I've been doing all these things. Good, thank you. Anyway, I have it if you ever want one. I have a whole chart of about 12 moves. 12 moves. So a lot of these moves are coming from that. So see how my knee is pushing? So if you have hip issues, I'm telling you, you got to line yourself up. See, this toe is this away. This toe is this away. And I'm just pushing that knee down. I can tell you this hip on mine is tight. Okay. So I'm pushing, I'm dropping my shoulders, pressing my shoulder blades back. Okay. While I'm down there, while I'm pushing my knee in and I'm pointing right here, I'm going to bring this arm back on the back of my head and push back on my head into my fingertips right there. So point, drop your shoulders. You're pushing with your knees this away, the way you're pointing. Now push back on your head. Do not lift your chin. Push back, open the shoulder, open the shoulder, open the shoulder, open the shoulder, and bring it back down, and bring it back down, and bring it back in. Turn, and then switch. So now this leg is here. I didn't come in any, okay? Before we go into it, we know we're going to be bending this leg, right? So that means I'm going to turn. See that? Remember? Yeah, do that. Before we do that, just bring your shoulders to your ears. Drop your shoulders, soften your knees, put your hands right back at the lower back or the high hip, and just push forward. See, we're opening these hips right here. Dropping our chin, drop your shoulders. Yeah, hang out here. You're gripping with your toes. Open your toes, okay? Keep the knees soft, pushing, 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 pushing. Then you come out of that. Now you turn that toe and you're going to point, right? Like that. Now here's the deal. If I came into your exercise area and I had you hit this position and then I say point, do you know what you would have done? You would have pointed, but you would have been out here. See, I don't want to be out here. I want to be in line with earlobe, shoulder, hip on both sides. So I have to soften my knees. This is how you do it. Big breath. I'm pointing and I'm opening this knee. See, some of you have your knee in here. Okay, open it out. Yeah, make sure that if you need to have your chair with you, do this by a wall, whatever for safety. But when I say rib cage up, chin has to tuck. You're opening, you're pointing right here. And you're pointing here, but we're going to bring this one right here. Now push back on your head. Now open that elbow. Right here, open the elbow. Okay. I hope K's on. This is for K. Take a big breath. Open the elbow. Push with your fingertips on the back of your head. Open that knee right here. Drop your shoulders. Okay, big breath. Slowly. Big breath. Open, 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 push. Open, push, open, push, open, push with your fingertips. Open, push back on your head. Yeah, it's a push pull, especially good for this kind of lining up, this kind of shoulder, neck mobility and strength. Okay. Now I'm going to bring that in just like that. And now I'm going to walk forward. And then I'm going to take that leg that I walked forward with, whatever that is, and go back. Okay. So that move is meant to get you in what's called a backwards lunge. Okay. To make you feel the difference, just let me take just a second. Bring the leg here to neutral. Same leg. We'll work on the other one in just a minute. Drop your shoulders, tuck your chin. Okay. Step forward. Okay. Bend the back knee. Right. Okay. Now just kind of feel how that feels. I'm going to take this leg, come to neutral, and I'm going to go back. So even though it's the same position, that act of going back and then rotating down is different. And it will all heighten all these senses, the muscle contraction that you're feeling when you go into a backward lunge will heighten when we do it with weights. So right now today, my purpose is functional daily living. And yes, I will do some of these things with weights. But today's on mobility. And now come to neutral again. Okay, now let's do this leg. Step forward. Okay. Take a big breath. And now come central and take a step back. Okay. When you pull that toe back, right there, I want you to squeeze the gluteal as you drop your knee. Just a little squeeze on the gluteal. And you might think, well, how do I do that? Okay, if I had a big shot in my hand and I was heading in towards you right here, you would know how to tighten your gluteal. That's all I want. I want it tightened right here as I drop the knee down. See that? And I have my chair here in case I get a little wobbly. See that? Okay, this is very valuable stuff. As a matter of fact, each one of these come to neutral. And when I say come to neutral, I mean it in the fullest sense. Chin tucked, rib cage up, shoulders are down. My knees are just a little soft, not bent, but soft. Take a big breath again. I'm going to go forward with that leg. I have my heel down and back. Okay. And I try to just increase that bend forward just a little bit. The emphasis not on the back leg right now. It's in the front. And I want to bend it. Okay, now I'm going to go neutral and get your whole postural lineup going. Then slip that leg back. Now the focus is on the back leg, not the front. Now I'm going to bend that back knee. I'm going to get that knee going down as far as I can. Yeah, just as far as I can. Okay, hang on. Take a big breath in through the nose. Pull the rib cage up. Some of you are leaning out a little too much on this one. This is on the back leg emphasis. See how I'm holding it in there? Then you come up. Okay, so if you went to a forward and then to a backward lunge, could hold them about 15 to 30 seconds, going down as low as you can, that would create a great tension through your muscles and your joints in a really, really beneficial way. And it's helping you keep your strength with your body weight. So I hope this is making sense to you. So here's the deal. So I'm taking a lot of moves from the Walker's Daily Dozen. And one of the things that I want to be able to do is hold my balance through my day when I'm stepping off curbs or stepping down steps, stepping in a hole in the yard. So every time you take a step in this tandem motion, number one, If you know you have balance, you're really pushing balance issues in that you're tottering, you're just feeling like you can't hold your balance. Number one, soften your joints. What does that do? Number one, when you soften your joints, you don't lock them, then you have to engage your muscles more fully, okay? Good neutral spine. Use a pole if you need it, because it's no fun getting off balance every other second or so. The point is, I want you to pay attention to your posture, your walk. Heel should be hitting toe. Yeah, one or the other. You only have to do like, I don't know, 5 to 10 steps. Okay, let's say that. It could be 4 to 8 steps. And if you're getting off balance really a lot, soften through the knees, do a tiny hip hinge, okay? Then go back. So tandem walking is one of the very solid functional moves that you can practice to help you have better balance, okay? And especially if you do it barefooted. Whoa, especially if you do it barefooted. So after I've done that, I'm going to come back over here to my chair, and I'm going to just grab one knee up. See, I'm just standing here. I'm just going to grab one knee and come up. See that? I can do both with one arm on my chair, one arm helping, okay? Now, if you can do it without that, great. Let's chairs here. Drop your shoulders. Take a breath. Exhale. Bring that leg up. And you're doing this independently, okay? So you might be focused on that leg coming up. But you know what you're really doing this for? You should be screaming at the screen. You're really doing this to force yourself into doing one leg stances. And I can tell you, my balance with this leg being the support leg, it's so much harder for me with this leg than this leg. Now, those of you with multiple joints in your hips replaced, this is a great thing to practice. I can't even tell you, it's a really good thing to practice, but you gotta keep yourself lined up. Drop those shoulders, take a breath, rib cage up, bring that leg up, have your chair here if you need it, get it up there, and keep your toes as open as you can. And you want to just try to increase one count. If you hold it 3, hold it 5. If you hold it 5, try to hold it 7. If you hold it 7, try to hold it 10 counts, okay? It's a very good thing to do all the time. Okay, so we've done several of the moves from the Walker's Daily Dozen. And now I'm going to put you through a little test. And I wanted to really get you warmed up. Make sure you have a space. Make sure you have a chair and or a couch to help if you need it. Here's my test. And whether you do the whole thing today with me or not, that's okay. I'm going to do these 10 times. This is what I'm going to do. Let me show it to you quickly. I'm going to get in the floor, and the first way of getting in the floor for me right now is to do a lunge with help of a chair and come down. Now, the minute I've done that, some of you are like, oh, I can't get in the floor. Well, here's my whole point. Whether or not you can get in the floor because maybe your knee bothers you, and if that's the case, that's when you use a little gardener's pad or this pad under your knee. It doesn't bother me getting on the floor. See? So I'm going to get on the floor this way. I'm going to get on the floor a different way next time. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go on all fours. Then I'm going to go and lay down. And I'm going to be half the time for these 10 times of getting in the floor, I'm going to be on prone, and 5, I'm going to be on my back. I'm going to roll over, and I'm going to go like that. And you don't have to do anything fast. Why am I doing this? This is a very functional test to see how frail you are. If you cannot get in the floor and get up from the floor 10 times in a row, you don't have to do it fast. You've got strength and mobility problems, and you're heading for a very dependent way of life. Okay, so I'm just gonna put that out there. I did a lot of really good warming up of the hips, the shoulders, the spine. Now we're gonna put it to the test. So, are you ready? So I'm looking at my clock here. This is not, you don't have to go fast. I'm just wanting to see how long this to do these 10 are gonna take us. Now I could do a ton of stuff when I get in the floor, but I'm not going to. So either use the chair to help you get into the floor at first, or don't. The real test is if you can get into the floor independent of any help of a chair or anything like that, and then get back up. Okay, so here's 1. I'm going to go down. I'm here in the floor. I'm going to go into a hyperextension. Then I'm going to go back into all 4s. Stay with me. I'm going to do every single one of these with you. Then I was going to put my hand here, but I'm not going to. I'm going to bring it here. And this is my replaced knee. This is my replaced hip. Tight tummy. If you feel you're going to get really out of balance trying to come up here, usually people will do this and put their toes under, and they will do this. That's fine. Just do that and then come up. So that's 1. You ready? Let's do it again. Now this time I'm going to go down a little differently. I'm going to go this way. Because of my hip being replaced, I have to be careful about angles of movement. But getting into the floor and up off the floor is essential. Down, all the way down, and I'm going to roll over now. And I'm going to be supine. I've fallen and I can't get up. Then I'm going to turn myself over. See, just like that. Bring my knee in. Turn myself over. I'm not going fast. I'm going to dig my toes in the back. Tight tummy. Drop shoulders. Breath. And come up. I'm going to do it again. This is the 3rd one. Back down. I'm going to lay down on my tummy. So I'm in the prone position. Then I'm going to come back up. I'm going to dig my toes in. Tight tummy. Come back up. Take a breath. Then I'm going to come back down again with a split stance. Down, just like that. Let yourself down. I'm going to come down. I'm going to roll over. So here I am, supine again. Turn, roll this way. Get on all 4s. So if I'm going too fast, don't get discouraged. I want you to keep doing it. You do not have to keep up with me. As a matter of fact, if you are passing me on the speed of getting, great. Step. Okay, I went down with this leg before. Now I'm going to step with this leg. Pretend that you've fallen or you're in the floor. There is nothing around to help you. And you want to help get yourself down into the floor. And you're going to get back up with no help. Drop your shoulders. Okay, ready? Tight tummy. Come back in. Here we go. I'm going to bring that leg around. And if you need to put your hand down here, that's fine. Make sure that you keep your back extended and then come on up. Our goal is to eventually get ourselves down and back up. But if you have a replaced knee that's very tight and you have a replaced hip, this is going to be a problem. Okay, so here I am again. I think I'm on about 5 or 6. So I'm down. I'm going to walk out. And those of you who cannot get in the floor right now, you do all of this from a chair. You go down as far as you can, then you come back. Go all the way down to the floor. Lay down. See? You can roll however you want to. I'm doing a hyperextension. Then I come back up because I figure if I'm in the floor, I might as well do a hyperextension. Okay, here is my best way for me to get up. So I'm going to splay my feet out. See how I go out with my feet? And I'm going to go into my toes, tight tummy, and then I'm going to come here and come up. And many of you know that way of doing it, all right? But I offer to have the chair here for those of you who are getting the sense that maybe you might need to do some more work to get stronger legs to help you down and then to help you back up without doing too much touching. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to roll over this time. So I'm going to go down, roll. I might even bring my legs in since I'm in the floor. And then I'm going to roll and I'm going to come back up. Now, lest you think that you're not training, you do these 10, one right after the other. It doesn't have to be fast, but it has to continue. So now I'm going to come back down again, walk out, and I'm going to lay flat. Then I'm going to come back up. I'm going to keep my shoulders down. I'm going to dig my feet into the floor, tighten my tummy, come up. I got about 3 more. Down, all the way down. I'm going to roll over. So I'm trying to do 5 supine and 5 in the prone position because I want you to get that rolling effect. Okay, I'm going to get back up. Drop your shoulders. Big breath, push, and come back. Okay, now I'm going to get down with the split stance. I'm going to come down, drop my shoulders. I have my chair here if I need it, and that's okay if you use it. I would rather you try to use the floor, even with our joints that are replaced. Some of you may think, well, I don't know why she's being so picky about doing it 10 times. I want you to prove to yourself that you have the muscles to roll around, turn, have the mechanics, have the flexibility, tight tummy, drop your shoulders, don't do this fast, get in position, push into the toes, and come back up. Okay, I think we got like 2 more, I think. I don't think Kathy's coming down. I hope you're counting, Kathy. I'm going to do 2 more. Here we go. Right here. Walk out. Right here. Go all the way to the floor. Boom. See that? Roll over. I figure I might as well roll over. And then roll back. And then get ready to get up. So now I'm going to come up. And now I'm going to do split stance. Getting up. I don't want to put my hand there. See, when you go from here to here is a big deal of balance. Okay? If you're doing this with me, you're seeing what I mean. You instinctively want to put your hand over on something. When you do that, a lot of times you lose your neutral posture. That's number 1. Number 2, you don't use your lower legs as powerfully as you could. But many of us cannot because of our joints replaced, okay? So I'm going to put a little tap of the hand here, tight tummy. I'm going to push into that back foot and the front one. See that? And I'm going to come up without rounding my back. Oh, take a big breath. Okay. I'm not sure. I think I did 10. I'm hoping that you did this whole thing with me. It is a very, very good test. And if you do it independently of touching anything, and you're out in the middle of the floor somewhere, good for you. So here we are, hands and knees. Now I'm going to ask you to put your little pad on your chair. Okay. I'm going to put my elbows right here in the chair. See this? This is going to be a different way to help your core. So you can hang on to the chair, but your elbows are down. Your shoulders are down. Now really flex those feet. Remember how we flexed them at the beginning of this? Now, the only thing I want you to do right now is drop your shoulders, tighten your tummy, take a big breath, and take your knees off the floor right there. That's all I want you to do. I want you to hang out here. Drop your shoulders. Yeah, drop your shoulders. Take a breath. Now go slowly down and just touch on the floor. Now come back up. Breath, slowly, barely tap. Come back up. Slowly come down. Tap, come back up. Take a breath. Slow, drop your shoulders. Breath, tap your shoulders. Tap them down. Tap your knees. See, I'm just going a few inches. Tap, breath, drop your shoulders, breath, drop your shoulders, breath, and come down. Okay? Now move back. Keep your elbows on the chair. Move yourself back. Take your head through your shoulders, and you're letting your shoulders really stretch. Take a big deep breath. Come back in. And put those toes under. Now we're going to get up. Put those toes under. Drop your shoulders. And you got to tighten your tummy. You ready? Take a big breath. Push into the elbows. Drop your shoulders up. Come right up here. And right here. For one of your 1 or 2 minute little breaks through the day, just find a chair. Just come here. Put your elbows down and act like you're going to kneel, but then don't. So you just act like you're going to kneel and then don't. And see, you know all the lineups. Don't let your shoulders come up around your ears on this one. Keep your tummy tight. Just act like you're going to kneel and then come up. I'm telling you, if you do that for 1 minute, you're going to get so much stronger in your core. And you have to push, you have to use your feet. It's an excellent move to do. Okay, come back down here, right here. And the reason I want you to have the pad right here is because we're gonna lift and swing. See this? So I'm right here on the end of the chair. See that? Then I go up on my toes, drop my shoulders. I'm gonna put my palm of my hand, the heel, above the knee. I'm going to lift my heels, okay? So I'm going to be pressing down. I'm going to lift the heels. So you should be feeling it again in your tummy. See, this is not a hard thing to do, but you have to use tightness right here. So you're pushing up with your leg. You're pushing down with your heel of your hand. So it's a down, heel, up. Engage your tummy. Yeah, engage your tummy. Drop your shoulders, breath. Drop your shoulders, breath. Yeah, it's not hard on your legs, but it's going to help strengthen through that joint without the stress of standing. So we were doing a lot of standing challenges. So this is one that you can do if you weren't able to stand. Okay? See how I'm moving against this? I'm pushing down. So the tuber or the tightness that you need to keep that pressure going is what I'm trying to get you to do. After you've done that for 10 times, then take and just lift that leg out like that. See that? Then go back, lift in. That little hip rotation. See, rotate back, lift, open, and touch down. Then bring it up, rotate, down. Okay, hip hinge. Drop your shoulders. Here we go. Open, tight tummy, and come out and down. Come up and down. So it's an up and down, up and down. Okay, that rotation is a very good way to get the hips moving, to work on your core. So big breath. So I'm going to step wide, and I'm going to do a staggered stance. So this is another good way to add to the whole getting out of that frail elderly category. So you're going to come here. So you're going to act like you're running a race. See this? So I'm right here, staggered, leaning in, push my hips back, and help yourself up, then come back down, then switch. Okay? You're on this higher pad, so it should be easier. Lean in, push your butt back, drop your shoulders, act like you're running a race, and watch what happens to that back leg. A lot of times, it's just down the edge. That'll make it easier. The knee will come in. Try not to let that happen. So now let's switch. So now I'm back here. So when I go to stand, you do not want that knee coming in, okay? Drop your shoulders, act like you're running a race, come back down. This is just helping you to navigate different feet positions and stand up and sit down. So here's one more way to use this chair in a really good way to help navigate and have independence. And I'm telling you, I hope some of you were inspired to get down on the floor, supine, prone, supine, open your legs, come up, take a big deep breath, push those arms out, pushing, 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 drop your wrist, bring those fingers up, take a big deep breath, go side to side, and just rock and roll as those hands go up and down, and then in and out, in with your toes, and then out, and then out, in, out, out. So you can do inversions as you're lifting, and then you do eversions. Go out, okay? So those kinds of rocking and rolling should be a big help. But the biggest thing is test yourself. Get out in the middle of the floor, get down with no help, and stand up 10 times in a row and see how you feel at the end of it. I know you'll love it.